Let's take a closer look at what happened in the first days of the Dakar Rally 2026. There's so many things happening and lots of stories are missed, so I want to give you some additional infos. For that, I'm working with my huge Excel table like every year to see how each car performed every day and who had a bad day, so we can then investigate what happened. First of all, we can see that the new Toyotas are both working well, and the first 5 positions of Stage 2 were Toyotas. The Dacias of Loeb and Alatia are at the front as well, and the Mövius and Baumel in the X-Rate Mini show strong performance and even won the first stage. You could say that the Dakar is not working so well for Ford so far because Ekström in the fastest Raptor is only in 8th position, but it's quite impressive how tight the field is still together. The first 20 cars are still within 10 minutes after more than 1,000 kilometers. One heartbroken story this year is the early crash of Daniel Schröder and his Amarok, just 1.6 kilometers into the prologue. And his father Jürgen, on the same car, had a tough second stage where a rock knocked off an oil connector of their engine and they had to wait for a long time in the desert to be towed back to the bivouac. The Coronel brothers heavily damaged their front left corner and hydraulic system, so they had no brake or clutch anymore and needed to repair it in the desert, which dropped them down the order. But they made it back and can race again. The red line trucks of Elia and Martin Kolok both had major issues on both first stages, including a power steering failure. The Chinese team around Han Wei had 3 flat spots in the rocky landscape, but just 2 spare tires. Same problem as many other cars. Their service truck was stuck, so they drove slowly to the pit stop area. When they finally arrived there, they had no spare wheels because the service truck was still stuck. And when the truck with the wheels arrived, they had too low pressure and they couldn't pump it, which meant they had to drive very carefully to the finish. Just a normal day in the Dakar. And we have a very interesting project about which we will talk in more detail in a separate video. The Ford Bronco Raptor, which is basically a stock car, but instead of driving in the stock category, they drive in their own T1.3 class. They are no professional team, so highest priority for them is to finish the Dakar. And they are happy with their stock Bronco so far. They had some minor issues and lost some time while towing a UTV with a transmission problem. Martin Prokop is driving a factory Ford Raptor for the first time instead of his own car, and he's doing pretty well in 12th position, just 8 minutes behind the leader and just 4 minutes behind Ekström in the fastest updated Raptor, about which we will talk separately. Barack Vanav and Serradori in the factory Century CR 7th in 16th and 17th position are also in a good position, since a lot can happen in the next days and they are just minutes behind the lead. Followed by the Gottschalk family, who wanted a bit too much on stage 1 and intentionally slowed down on stage 2 to avoid punctures. And while the top cars are still pretty close together, and around 1/3 of the grid already had serious problems, we can see that Red Bull boss Mark Mateschitz, under the cover name Mustermann, is doing pretty well in his Toyota Hilux in 48th position and 1 hour 37 behind the lead. And also his girlfriend, Viktoria Swarovski, under the cover name Vic Flip, is in the mix of the challengers in 24th position. So there are lots of things going on, a lot can happen, and there are a lot of top cars pretty close together. In the end, reliability, navigation, and avoiding of punctures will lead to success. Who do you support in this year's Dakar Rally? Let me know in the comments below and check out my other videos with the links below for more details on each car. See you next time.